Health Alert is brought to you by OU Physicians in Tulsa. Hello, welcome to Health Alert. I'm Pam Butler. Today we're going to look at special eating occasions, and joining me is Lauren Bradley, health educator and dietitian with the Tulsa Health Department. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you've been on the program before, but I do want you to get people sort of geared up and clarified on those that may not have watched the program before, the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist.
Okay, well, a dietitian is someone who has gone to school for at least 4 years, typically the program is. Then they have to complete a dietetic internship, which those can be, they're in different states and they focus on clinical or community. They can be different, but they do have to pass then a licensing exam and a registration exam to become an actual dietitian or registered dietitian.
Okay.
Whereas a nutritionist, some people can go online, take a quick,
Right.
fill something out, hey, you're a nutritionist.
Okay.
So the dietitian really does have your qualifications, and they've gone to school, so they know a little bit more information then.
Yeah, and I would like to say too, when you look at the bottom line, they know the science
Yes.
of food, not just the art and what it looks like and what's
Yes.
pleasing, but actually what's the nutritional value, what things really should be combined, how we should really safely gain, lose weight, those kinds of things.
Exactly. They're going to be more your experts, and again, it is a science-based degree, so like you said, it is going to be more the science and what's in your food and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we're going to talk today about eating for special occasions, no
Okay.
matter what the special occasion may be. Now, before we totally get there, how should we sort of look at this whole issue of eating and dieting and that type of thing? I mean, what should be our really general focus? Because sometimes we may think, well, we should safely lose maybe 20 pounds in 2 weeks if we have a goal.
Gotcha.
So is that a realistic way we should be looking at food? Or sometimes we feel if we eat a whole bunch early, then it's not going to hurt us later. Sometimes we feel that we should not eat but certain kinds of foods in the middle of the day, and then it won't hurt us later. So tell us, how should we be looking at this whole concept of food and how much we even need?
Okay, well, the best place to start, it's kind of hard. Again, you need that dietitian to get your exact calories for you. A good place to go is mypyramid.gov.
Okay.
That you can go and look and enter. Basically, it's kind of a formula. Your calories are going to be based on how active you are. Are you an active person? Are you pretty sedentary? It's going to be based on your gender. It's going to be based on your age. So like I said, there are a lot of factors, and going to something like mypyramid.gov will kind of give you a calorie range for how much you need to be consuming. Then as far as that goes, we need to eat from our 5 major food groups. We have that nice skinny little part of the pyramid, that's the fats, oils, and sweets. We don't consider that one of our major food
That's
groups.
not a major food?
No. Sticking to our whole wheat, grain products, our fruits and vegetables are key, our low-fat dairy, and I say low-fat, not our 2% whole milk and ice cream, our low-fat dairy, and then our lean meats like your chicken and a steak maybe that has a lot of the fat trimmed off of it. And then, again, watching those sweets, but overall just making sure you consume all those different food groups, but within those food groups, make healthy choices.
Now, if we're doing that, does it really matter what time of day we eat certain foods? For instance, if we're staying within the caloric range we should be, we're eating from those healthier 5 groups and not so much from number 6, right?
Yes.
Would it really matter what order we ate them in terms of, some people really feel like, well, I won't gain as much weight if I eat most of this in the morning compared to the evening. But if we're staying within that, does it make a difference?
Well, what does make a difference is you do need to be eating pretty consistently throughout the whole day.
Okay.
And the difference is going to be if you say, I'm not going to eat breakfast because it's going to help me lose weight if I skip breakfast.
Right.
Or I'm not going to eat lunch today. I'm going to save a couple calories. Actually, what that can do is affect your metabolism.
Okay.
Because your body, when it digests the food, that gets your metabolism going. It's doing something when you're up and moving. Well, eating, like I said, eating throughout the day is going to keep your metabolism going throughout the day. When you skip breakfast and then we just decide to eat lunch, well, by lunch, you're starving. And your body also starts going into kind of this starvation mode, like, I don't know what I'm going to eat next, so I'm going to slow myself down and conserve energy.
Okay.
And so you're not going to be burning as many calories. So really, like I said, eat a small breakfast, have a snack lunch, snack dinner. Try to space your meals out throughout the day would be probably the best plan, just for consistent weight maintenance and then also for weight loss, to have those small frequent meals.
And that makes kind of good sense, because sometimes you'll hear people say, well, I eat most of my heavy stuff or more things in the morning, then I eat very little the rest of the day. But like you said, we're working against ourselves, because our body is presuming, therefore, the rest of that day, like you said, is a starvation. So it's holding on to more.
Exactly.
And then the person says, I don't understand why I'm not either maintaining or losing weight, because I'm eating so much earlier to burn. And so we're really just confusing everything.
Yeah, just eat a little throughout the day. Don't eat a lot every time you eat. But again, smaller portions consistently throughout the day is going to be probably the best choice for most people. And getting a good breakfast in is so important, because again, it's called break the fast. If you eat dinner at 7 and you're not eating lunch again until noon, I mean, that's a pretty long stretch that you would never go that long during the day without eating food.
That's a good point. And sometimes we don't make enough time in the morning to actually eat the breakfast that we really need, because it is like fuel. It's like a car. It's giving us that early boost of energy to get our day going. And maybe it's not so much of the caffeine boost we need, but the food that we need.
And that's how we teach it to our elementary school kids. It's like, can the car run if there's no gas? And no, it can't. And our bodies are the same way. We can't run on empty, can't function. So
okay. Now, when we think then about the foods that we should be eating, how should we view sort of drinks? Tell me about that, and then we're going to look at portions and different types of foods too. But how do we work drinks into that? Because sometimes people will say, I don't eat a lot. I don't know why I gained so much weight. I don't really eat very much. But you look at the fact that maybe they're drinking a lot of soda pop, maybe they're drinking a lot of alcohol or liquors or something like that. Maybe not to the point of excess, but they're drinking those. They're having different shakes. They're having juices. So tell me about those, and even flavored waters.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of people, like you said, do that. I prefer to eat my calories rather than drink them. But like you said, so many people do tend to drink more. Those are what we call empty calories, because basically there's no nutritional value to most of those things that you mentioned. Juice, pop. Juice, you're going to get some of your vitamins, but a lot of juices, if they're not 100% fruit juice, are nothing but sugar. Kool-Aid, sugar, pop, sugar. And sugar is eventually what's going to happen. I mean, the science of all of it is your body, once it uses all the sugar it needs, it's going to start storing it as fat. And I think a lot of people think, oh, well, it's sugar, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But they forget, like I said, it's going to store as fat. And we need to make those healthier choices like water, or they've got the Crystal Lights that are 0 calories. If you are going to drink soda pop, maybe switch to diet. You're not going to have as many calories that way.
Okay, so pay attention.
So, yeah, definitely just look at your food labels is the best way to go. And those energy drinks, like you were saying, are a lot of empty calories. You're going to get your high, and then you're going to crash, and you have no nutrition.
And that's the same thing, too, when you think about some of those flavored waters, that a lot of them, if you really look at it, have a lot of the sugar in it. And you were saying on a previous show, tell us again, for those that didn't watch that or those that might not have remembered, where you look for the fructose within the labeling, which means it's higher than. Tell us about that.
Yeah, if you look at the ingredient label, and any sort of food label is going to say it, it's going to be kind of over on the side or underneath. It will list ingredients. And if one of your first ingredients is high fructose corn syrup, then that means there's probably nothing good in that, because that's the largest ingredient. The first ingredient listed, or the first couple, are going to be in the largest quantities. And then after that, it kind of tapers off. But if your main ingredient is high fructose corn syrup, then again, you're consuming pretty much nothing but sugar.
Okay, we'll take a quick break and come back and start to get into our foods.
Great.
Okay, please stay with us. We'll be right back.